Oh, thank you so much for keeping it GBS Morning Extra. My name is Tom Mama, as usual. Hashtag GBS Morning Extra. And I have a surprise for you. We have Tumaini Band in the house. Good morning, gentlemen. Weka mic karibu na mdomo. Habari asubuhi.
Nzuri sana.
Okay, asante sana kwa kuja. Before tuendelee tunataka kufeel what do you have for us this morning. So, twende kazi.
Malaika, nakupenda malaika. Malaika, nakupenda malaika.
Nami nifanyeje kijana mwenzio?
Nashindwa na mali sina we, ningekuwa malaika. Nashindwa na mali sina we, ningekuwa malaika. Malaika, nakupenda malaika. Malaika, nakupenda malaika.
Nami nifanyeje kijana mwenzio?
Nashindwa na mali sina we, ningekuwa malaika. Nashindwa na mali sina we, ningekuwa malaika.
Kidege, ukuwaza we kidege. Kidege, ukuwaza we kidege. Nami nifanyeje kijana mwenzio?
Nashindwa na mali sina we, ningekuwa malaika. Nashindwa na mali sina we, ningekuwa malaika.
Malaika, nakupenda malaika. Nami nifanyeje kijana mwenzio?
Nashindwa na mali sina we, ningekuwa malaika. Nashindwa na mali sina we, ningekuwa malaika.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Unaweza patia Eddie mic. Habari asubuhi bana. Tari Flint. Thank you so much, and unaweza tujoin kwa set tafadhali.
Okay.
Yeah, unaweza tujoin tu kwa set.
Thank you.
Kuja tuna mic. Before tuendelee, maybe unaweza tupatia story kidogo ya band. Hii band ilianza when? Na wewe kama wewe ndio director. Nimeona umezua sana nisipokuita director. Sawa. Bana director sasa. Hii band ilianza when? Na mmekaa for how long? Na your achievement so far?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we started the band in the year 2015.
Unaweza songesha mic kidogo? Yeah.
Tulianzia 2015. Yeah, after the youth camp, mwezi wa 9. Yeah, that's when we started the band. We started with the university students because actually the band is a combination of students, most students from universities,
Okay.
and also students who have also completed their high school. Yes.
Okay. Sasa so tuta get back kwako.
Okay.
Tukiendelea, alafu lazima tuwape chance ya kuintroduce pia. Tunataka kusikia sauti zao apart from wakiimba. Tusikie kama ni same wakiongea na wakiimba kama ni sawa.
Okay, poa.
Asante sana.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm also joined by Wycliffe Ayako. Ayoki, sorry. Wycliffe Ayoki. Habari asubuhi. The mind is it mindset or
Mindset specialist.
mindset specialist?
That's more comfortable.
What's the difference between mindset, mind education and psychology?
Mind education talks about life. Psychology just is a study. You just study about something, and psychology doesn't change people's life. Psychology talks about what is affecting them without solutions. Mind education does not just find out what is the effect, what is a problem in the heart of each and every individual, but then it also gives clear solutions. In one of the programs of this IYF is mind training. When we give the mind training, it's the training to change the mind, to change the heart, the way of thinking. So when your mind changes, your life changes, the way you see things also change. And it does not just change an individual life alone, it changes in an individual, and then it changes the society, and then the whole world is able to change.
Okay.
When you look at developed countries, there are few people who had the right mindset, and then they were able to change the society because there was a driving force that is pushing them, pulling them, so they can be able to do the work which they are not able to do by themselves.
Okay.
So mind is naturally about change, and we promote change through first the change of mind.
Okay.
Yes.
Being a youth, so although I'm not sure, no,
We don't have to be.
in this country there's no clear cut. Who is youth?
Everyone is young, even the president is a youth.
Oh,
So
of course.
I
So,
think I'm the youth bracket.
okay, how has this IYF changed your life?
Yeah, my life changed a lot. I joined IYF 10 years. Now it's 10 years. 10 years
That's from
exactly.
2009.
Yes, starting from the year 2009. There are a few things that I think I met with IYF and I lost hope. One of the key pillars of IYF is hope, because IYF is going all over the world and giving hope and giving change. I thought that there was an end to my life 10 years ago. I can't do this. There are a few things that I went through, and I lost a lot of hope. But then when I came to IYF for the first time, I attended the IYF Youth Camp, there was a big change that I was able to see in my life. Everyone in the camp was smiling. It's only me that my face was frowning. So I was wondering, what is the difference between me and them? Why are they smiling? Are they also facing problems that I face? Are they also difficult? Is the society cruel? Okay. But then within 1 week, without realizing, I think I had a true smile for the first time. I remember very well the true smile for the very first time.
Okay.
Yeah, so my life has changed a lot. If given a chance to explain, I have a lot of things to explain.
Okay, what exactly are you going through? Is it depression, or is it?
Many people go through depression without thinking.
Okay.
I cannot call it depression because I think if it was depression, then there was a lot of things. But in the current society where we live in, people go through depression. But then now the worst part of it is that people are giving excuse, talking about because of hard economic times, because of this and that, because of my parents, because of my friend. The most complicated part in the current society, which is completely different to 10 years ago, is that people, they end up even committing suicide. And then why do they commit suicide? Not because they're depressed. We are in hard times as a society. But as an individual, there is a world that we have never seen, the world of my heart. When you've never seen the world of your heart, you're going to be filled with a lot of things: hopelessness, despair, pain, suffering. Everything, it starts from your heart. So people that are suffering inwardly in their heart, but then they're blaming the government, they're blaming individuals, they're calling on other people. And then we are now living in the society where technology has taken over and people are not having a normal conversation.
Okay.
You find children living in the same house, they don't talk to parents, they send themselves WhatsApp messages. So what has occupied our heart, what has occupied our mind is more toxic, it's more difficult than what is coming outside of our heart. Okay. But the whole environment is formed within us.
Okay.
We created an environment whereby we cannot communicate. Because the lack of communication, people suffer a lot.
Okay.
Yes.
And is this the basics for IYF camp?
Yeah, the basics for IYF camp is a change of mind. We first train the youth to change their mind to promote peace and cohesion, to go over what they think that they cannot go over, okay, to be able to see it with a different perspective. Mind education does not just say change. Mind education does not just say stop doing this. Because the main reason why, if I bring the church inside of this a little bit more, the main reason why youth don't want to go to church, okay, is because when they go to church, the pastor will say, don't drink alcohol, don't smoke, don't greet that girl, don't hug so-and-so. You understand? Yeah. When they say that, I can say that is a concept of law. And when you put under the law, your life is boring. You are put under a certain rule, your life becomes boring. Okay. But IYF teaches the freedom from inside, gaining the freedom from inside. Mind education promotes the freedom from your heart, not just I'm free. There's a difference between saying it in my lips, I'm free, and there's a difference of having the freedom in your heart. So like the mind, like a river, the mind flows, the heart flows. So you need to find the flow of your heart. If my heart and your heart is same, even if you say something that looks bad in the eyes of other people, to me, if our heart is same, then I won't feel offended. But youths, young people, they live with their parents with a different heart. That's why when the parent rebuke or correct, they think, because my mother hates me. That's the worst thought that each and every individual have. Okay. And before they commit suicide, they first have that thought. Okay. You rebuke them, then they think, oh, because my brother is better than me, because my brother is learned than me, that's why he's shouting at me. And then that thought itself will pull you to stand on the window and throw yourself down. Okay. Yeah.
As you said earlier, Kenyan youths are going through a lot.
Yes.
There are no jobs. That's a fact.
Yeah, and there's no promise that there will be jobs anytime soon.
That's not where the problem is. Yes. But of course, we have been brought up.
Yes.
With the mindset that go to school.
Go to school.
You spend almost 20 years in the education line.
Take a help loan.
Yeah, of course. They're telling you, go study, you'll get a good job. But yes, when you study after that, you graduate, you come out here, there are no jobs.
Yes.
Now, how do you control that?
I'm sorry, I went to school. And
you're sorry because you went to school?
I went to school, and the system of Kenya education is, I think, in my time, I think it was worse. Because you study 12 subjects, and you live your life not applying what you studied in school. Yeah, mathematics was there, and that was one of my most boring subjects. But let me say something.
No, I know why.
I know you're meaning.
I know why you're saying it was tough, but anyway.
But then let me say something, Tom.
Yeah.
We need to call a spade, not a big spoon. Apart from the education, apart from English, mathematics, apart from the course that you take in school, there is something that you can do best. Before you became a reporter, already that is something that was inside of you. But then we are in a society, more so in Kenya, we are in the society that we don't encourage the people to find the power within them. What can I do? And the government is not supporting that. But to my shock, long time ago, people with the A students, they get a job. But now in Kenya, A students, they are suffering. There's no job. So that's why we can say that education is not the key to success. I know most educationists will fight this. After this, will tell me, no, you're lying. But then education is not the key to success. Let's look at it in this way. There are those people who are educated, and they don't have a job. There are those people who are not educated, but they run multi-billion companies. What is the difference? The difference is the mind. We study But we don't want to study the world of the heart that will give me the strength to innovate, to move forward, to do something that is going to change the world.
Okay.
We are all studying the British kind of education, just to speak good English and to live well.
Okay.
But then now when we meet the suffering that English cannot teach me to overcome, when we meet with the difficulties, when I become broke, what am I going to do? We're going to resort into drugs. We're going to resort into to become peddlers, those kind of things.
Okay.
But then the system of education does not teach us how to overcome those things when they come in life. So that's why we study, we do everything. I'm not saying that people should not go to school. People should go to school, people should study. But then, with the education that you have received, how are you going to change the life of other people? Or you want education to change your life, or you want to study so that you can change the life of other people? What impact do you put in the society?
Okay.
Yes.
I know you are bitter because of the maths, but
No, that's not it. Because I don't even apply it in my life.
going. Logarithms didn't help us.
Yes.
Let's have a very beautiful lady here. Tumekuweka sana, but it's now your time to chip in. Good morning.
Ladies first.
No.
It depends where.
Yes.
So clearly not on morning.
Yes.
You came late, so.
We'll go with that.
Okay, we are sorry for that. Okay, what's your name? What's your good name? And what, of course, what you do?
My name is Wanjiro Kimani. I am a member of IYF Tumaini Band. I have been a member of IYF for the last 1 year. So yes, pretty much that's it.
Okay, and how has life been since you joined the IYF and of course the band?
It has definitely changed my heart, my mind, and my whole situation, my whole life, because before that, there wasn't a particular thing I was doing with my life.
Okay.
I took a short course after high school, and then ikaisha.
Okay.
So I didn't have something specific that I was doing with my life. I was just home feeling frustrated and wondering, where is my life headed? What am I supposed to do now? Where am I supposed to go? And I didn't have a sense of direction or a sense of hope. But then I met IYF, and it gave me a sense of purpose. It gave me a sense of direction, and it taught me mindset. I learned mindset. I have grown as a person since I met IYF.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice. We want to discuss more about depression, but we have seen some leaders trying to address this issue, especially the President Uhuru Kenyatta. Let's now hear what he had to say.
I have noted with extreme sadness and profound concern the recent rise in reported cases of suicides and homicides in the country, particularly femicides.
The sentiments of a disturbed president, the cases being too many to ignore. The story of a student doctor hacked to death by an admirer in broad daylight caught those who witnessed and the country at large by surprise. The man wielding the axe was Naftali Kinodhia. He seemed to be the average young Kenyan man with a great job and a bright future. Kenyans still question what could have gone wrong to drive him to such violence. The murder case is still in court.
With regard to homicides, there can never be any admissible reason to take an innocent life. You not only end the life of the person you kill, but ruin your own life in the process as well.
This note popped up on social media, shared by 50-year-old Albert Mwangi. He had killed his wife and committed suicide. The note was written to his children with a special mention to his spiritual leaders who tried to reconcile him with his wife, who he said was the cause of his torment.
It does pain me to see the distress and anguish in the faces of family members who are left behind by one who felt the life offered them no other option.
Police officers have been the greatest casualties of killings. They are reported to have killed random people in entertainment areas and even close family members. This raises concern on professions that predispose workers to mental breakdowns.
I urge employers and institutions of learning to invest more time and resources in monitoring and facilitating the mental well-being of their charges.
Hardships of life seem to be a catalyst. A mother in Sosiot, Kericho County, poisoned her 3 children and committed suicide. The bodies of the 4 were discovered by neighbors who went to investigate why the family had taken too long to wake up.
Check on your family members and friends and be their safe harbor. A little caring in a world where we have become too busy for one another will go a long way.
The president has encouraged those who may be struggling with depression to seek help, if only to save their lives and to prevent causing any life-altering suffering.
Okay, I don't know who to start with. What's your opinion first about this depression issue among the youth? And as a youth, how do you handle all these issues? Because I know you also have a lot of issues you need to deal with.
Yeah, as a youth, it's a little more real because you are the one going through these things. It's not hearing from other people, you're also actually going through them. But before and after learning mindset, the way I handle things has also changed because before I could, I'd look at things differently. Before I would think of things differently. I would think, I am helpless, I cannot do this. Where do I begin? What do I do? Where do I start? I have no idea what to do. I'm so confused and all of that. But after learning mindset, you realize that you have to think positive things to yourself, of yourself, and trust that nature will take its course. People keep writing on social media, trust the process, but they don't realize how hard it is to do that because you could be in a condition that is really hard. Bills are on your head, on your shoulders, everything feels like it's falling on you. Sometimes your parents or your family is also relying on you, and so many people are looking up to you, but yourself, when you look inward, you feel helpless. Okay. But once you learn mindset, then you realize that worrying doesn't help first. Worrying really never helps, and you learn to be happy. Okay. Without fixing everything, you learn to be in a sticky situation and still be happy.
Okay. So the problem is our mindset.
Yes, the problem is our mind, the way we take things, the way we think of things. That is the problem.
Okay. And we have a mind specialist. You'll help us in that. You'll help us in that. And, now, to this issue of depression, how does IYF address these issues among the youths?
Tom, looking at the president's speech, he has spoken very true words, and he has advised the education system, the Ministry of Education, to first of all concentrate on changing the mind, the mental well-being of individuals. Okay. Every nation, you realize that every year, every day, time in, time out, the politicians come out and talk about how they need to develop infrastructure, how they need to develop the well-being, the physical well-being of each and every individual, how we need to create jobs, how we need to do this. But there's no politician, there's no one who's coming out to say we need to develop the mind. When the happiness graph go high, then the desire graph will go low. What is killing us? We have a strong desire. I want to get a job. I want to do this. Our mind is filled with a desire wanting to fulfill this and this and this and this. But then we're not having a conversation. I want to become happy. How can we lay aside all these things and become happy? The problem is that you go to developed nations, go to America, the happiness graph is low and the desire is high. When you have children, when the child is still young, the child will cry for just a sweet. The father can give. A biscuit, the father can give. Let's go to picnic. The father can do that. But when the child grows, the desire grows. I want a car, not any other car, the new model. I want a phone, not any other phone. This and this. Because this child goes into the society. This child grows and goes into the society. When I ask, my father gives me. So they ask, they're given. After university, they ask, the father is not able to meet their desire, then my father hates me. He doesn't care about me like before. Then they end up committing suicide. It's not like they're really depressed. If the parents of this nation, if the parents of Kenya would be able to train the children, the heart, to control the heart, to bring down the desire, then we can be able to have a happy nation, happy society. Walk down the streets of Nairobi. People just hit you without thinking. They don't know what is going on. They don't get into matatu. They don't even know the person seated next to them. They don't care anything. A lot of things happen. Everyone is living in his own world. Okay. We need to create a world whereby we are family. How do we create that? We need to reduce that desire. We need to teach, to control the desire. That's what IYF does. Okay. Yes.
And the question will be, how do we be happy without meeting your normal needs? Because that's actually the real problem.
That's very serious.
That's the problem.
This is something which is very serious.
Yeah.
Everybody says like that. But have you met your normal needs? No one is asking himself the question that
at once.
But one thing you need to accept, whether you become a billionaire today, there are things you'll never meet. There are things that money cannot buy. There are things that employment cannot give you. There are things that the beautiful girlfriend cannot give you. That is the happiness. Your own happiness. You create your own happiness. Okay. It's not about how many people have good jobs and then they're sleeping on the street because they got drunk, they cannot get home. If the job is the source of that, how many people have security but they still feel insecure?
But the definition of happiness from the youth.
The definition of happiness for the youth. I want to change this.
Something that maybe taking a certain mzinga and be happy setting.
No.
No. Fact.
Yeah, it's no for you, but we cannot fold our eyes and say we are not seeing this. That's what is happening.
It's true.
Now, how do I address all that? How do you convince a youth who goes out every Friday that this is not the source of happiness? How?
Tom, the youth, he was not born going out on Friday. He learned that from someone. Okay. Then have you ever asked that person whether he was happy? He learned that from someone. Who is that? Oh, my dad goes out and when he comes home, it's a domestic violence. So people they just see, let me go out and drink. Let me go out and be with friends. But what is the result of going out and after going out and drinking and being with friends? You get back to square one. Okay. You start again.
Let's hear from the youths themselves. You're giving from an outside perspective.
I know, not from an outside perspective. Okay, you can ask her.
Okay.
Yes. Maybe for the last 1 year, if she found something new.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I know you're in that
Why
part.
do I feel threatened?
No, not threatened.
You're threatening yourself.
Okay, we have your part here, source of happiness. The definition is very different for youth.
Yes.
And now, how do you connect that to IYF? Because you're also a beneficiary.
Okay. So like I said, definitely before and after, you do not remain the same person. Na nimesema tena, how I used to think before is not how I think now. Like he said, having a good job and a good pay and all of that does not really make you happy. We know people who, celebrities like billionaires who have killed themselves over depression, having all the money they could ever want and being able to go wherever in the world. We know we keep saying, I know we say, heri ulie kwenye Range Rover ama ucheke kwenye bodaboda and watu saa hizi kila mtu ako sawa. Everyone right now is okay with kulia kwa Range Rover. People are okay with that now. But it's all a matter of priorities. Okay. Once you realize where that happiness does not come from what you're earning, it doesn't come from where you live, it comes from the inside. Okay. And we have had people who are prominent come to learn mindset when they're really like way older. So it's not really about the youth, it's just the youth are the ones that are a lot more faced with depression. Okay. And unajua, sisi, I've seen a poll on Instagram about, someone asked, is depression the new way of looking for what is it called, attention.
Public sympathy.
Is depression the now attention seeking? And okay, I'm not sure how sad this is, but sadly, 49% said yes. That is a very thin line, you know. Like, so nearly half of the people who saw that post think that depression is not real.
I don't think it's sadly, but because it's a country I've never had a platform to come and address all these issues.
See, the problem
that's why we are saying that depression is now sort of becoming a crisis in the country.
But Tom,
if I would think, sorry, if I would say...
She feels threatened, so let her speak.
Yes. If I would be the one to speak, I feel like our parents had really hard times as compared to us.
Definitely, which is true.
So, and they didn't have depression issues like we do, you know.
So what's the problem?
Social media is the one that is setting our standards. We do not realize that my path is not someone else's path.
Okay.
So we're letting social media set our standards when someone was born with a silver spoon in their mouth and you were born in
with
Ushago,
no spoon in your mouth.
with literally no, with no spoon. You are using your hands that have, and your parents had to go to farm for you to eat in the evening. You go meet these people in high school, you get a phone when you grow up, and now they are setting the standards for how you're supposed to live.
Okay.
You get, so it becomes very easy for us to feel, but they are doing better. Why am I not there yet? I should be like them. What did I do wrong, you know?
Okay.
But when you learn mindset, you realize my path is mine,
Okay.
by myself. I will get there when my time comes.
Okay.
Time yao imefika, let them enjoy their life anyway.
Okay. Wycliffe, wacha tusikie from the youth wengine hapa.
I think I have a burning question.
Sawa, najua. Wacha tusikie from them. I hope kuna mics hapo. Sasa kuna mic hapo. Wewe nimekuwa sawa life hii time yote. So what changed your mindset? You guys seem happy. And I don't think you have.
They are just happy. They don't seem happy.
Of course. Let them speak for themselves.
Yes.
Okay. How did you manage to maybe to put your house together? Because I know you also have some pressing issues that maybe are forcing you to think hard. Yeah.
So about mindset, changing your mindset. Okay, to some people it's very difficult, but there is one lesson I learned. Like changing your mindset is something very small. The moment you change your perspective, you see like a 6 and a 9. When I'm on this other side, I will see it as a 6. When I go to the other side, it's a 9. So the moment you see this side as a 6 and you stay and fix your mind, no, it's a 6. And anytime someone else has come and tells you, no, that is a 9, and you say like, no, it's a 6. That type of thinking is where most of us youth like go and blunder everything.
Sawa. Okay, Wycliffe, now you're burning issue.
Actually, she spoke about our parents going through a lot, and in terms of there's a real poverty. When we talk about poverty in Kenya, now we need to talk about real poverty. That's why I wanted to ask Tom, at what age did you start putting on shoes?
What?
At what age did you start putting on shoes?
I don't remember. but very young age.
Yeah, you're lucky. Yeah. There are people who they started putting on shoes when they were joining high school. Hiyo kiatu ulikuwa nalala nayo kwa pillow. But there, and then you need to ask yourself, at what time they were really happy? There was no shoes, there was no mobile phone, there was no Instagram, there was no Facebook, there was no Twitter, okay. There was completely nothing. What they could only listen to was KBC radio. Mm-hmm. And then this was the father's radio. You don't need to touch that. But where did they get that happiness? Which we cannot get today. We need to ask ourselves such questions. But now, in the generation that we have created a world whereby we are living with a trend. It's trending. This is fashion. This is what we need to do. And then when there are those people who cannot meet that expectation, they become depressed.
So you're saying our social media life and the online stuff is putting a lot of pressure to us.
Yes, social media is putting a lot of pressure, but who makes social media? Social media is not a robot that they'll just wake up in the morning and throw something. We manufacture those things and put them on that platform. There are many places that social media is touching people's life. You as a journalist, there are many places that you know that through media you have changed people's life. But then you don't expect the social media to portray a good picture of you when you don't have such a good picture. So when we say social media is changing, who controls social media? Who controls the life?
Okay.
We need to find someone who controls it. Who controls my life? What is the driving force? Who is driving it? And then when they drive, it doesn't matter which kind of a car you have. There's a good. What is the standard of a good car?
Okay.
The good car is the car that can stop, that has good brakes. It can go at 150, then it can stop. When it goes at 150 and someone crosses the road when it cannot stop, that is what? Accident. So that's why we need to think. Who controls it? Do I have the self-control? Can I stop?
Okay. I don't know. Phones are now a form of addiction. Even you, I know, when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you look at is your phone.
Yeah, because
so
it has become part of our life.
Okay. When a youth comes to IYF camp, and I believe you have a slot where we'll be discussing all these issues to address depression issues,
Yes.
because that's the elephant in the room.
Yes.
Now, how do you convince the youth that this phone is not everything you need in life? How?
I don't want to say that phone is bad. The people using the phone are bad. Because the phone doesn't call you. Please touch me. Please post me. Does the phone say that?
Yeah, when it rings.
But in our veins, in our blood, we are allowed to be controlled by the phone.
Okay.
If you don't tweet, what do you lose?
Desire.
No, it's not like that. Maybe you can ask Wanjiru here. I know.
She has just talked about Instagram here.
Yes,
that
because
means
she's on Instagram.
Yeah, that means
Yes.
maybe she cannot stay
No,
for
but
one
then
day
we need
not
to-
accessing
the question
Instagram.
that
I will wear that crown very well.
But the question that we need to ask ourselves is, does Instagram control her or she controls it? Does she have power to rule over it?
Okay.
Or it has power to rule over her?
Okay.
That's the only thing we need to ask ourselves.
Okay,
now-
can you let Tom ask the questions?
That was a question.
Okay, I'm letting him to address the issue because he's the mindset specialist, and all these issues affect our
Right.
minds. And maybe we are deviating from the fact that our minds are somehow toxic
Yes.
in a way.
Not somehow, but very.
We are deviating from that fact.
Yes.
Now, IOF now camp is here. You've been here since 2008, right?
Yes, 2009.
2008.
yeah.
You've been there. How has the youth changed? And outside from you, because you are an Instagram fan, I believe. You've just...
I hope that's not personal.
that's not possible. Okay, say now, you have been attending these IOF camps.
Yeah,
Now, as a youth, we tend to raise our problems through our social media platforms.
true.
If with a breakup, you go to social media. If you hate someone,
Fact.
you go to the social media.
Fact.
Now, how is this affecting us? And how did IYF change your perception about sharing your problems with the relevant people who can't help you?
What IYF did is exactly what you just did. It made me understand that sharing your problems on social media is telling your business to people who do not care. Instead, you'd rather, for real, that is exactly what it is.
Okay.
But like Martin said, IYF changes your perspective. And naturally, you realize that people are drawn to negativity more than positivity. Because if you have a bad rumor and a good rumor about someone, I promise you, I know this 100%, the bad one will thrive way over the positive one, right? So as human beings, we are naturally drawn to negativity. But what IOF does, it teaches you to think of the 9 other than the 6.
Okay.
So it shows you that your situation may be bad, but what are you supposed to learn from it, you know? Because when you're in a problem, for example, you think of, why am I in this? Nilikosea nani? Kwani what did my parents do? You know, we all think about, oh, kwani nilirogwa? Is this a curse? Where have I gone wrong? And you will never stop and think, what is this situation trying to teach me? What am I supposed to learn from this? After this, I should, you know, but when you think of what am I supposed to learn from this, you come out of that situation a bigger, stronger person than you were when you got into it.
Okay.
So it changes your perception. About the social media thing, yes, like he said, you're supposed to control it. It's a lot of, but the guys developing these things are really smart as well, because they give you exactly what you want. It's about demand and supply, right? You want
also
more
not
filters. They have learned nature, really, not our mindset. It's more of nature's way and what we are attracted to.
Did you see the first up? Did you see the first up?
I did, and so many people used it, and I was so mad.
Why?
Because my face was used by someone else.
That's not talking about. It's all about our mindset.
Yeah, so naturally.
So if someone does it and shares it on social media, everyone was like, wow, let me try it.
And you know now we have had...
And that's how smart they are. So they know exactly what our minds are set and what our minds need to see and what they want to do.
Yeah, but that's the natural way, the negativity side of us, the 6. If we could change and start seeing the 9, they would not have so much control over us. Because, siku hizi, by the way, instead of posting, you hurt me so much, you know, Kitambo used to post a lot of pain. These days you write, I like the woman I'm becoming, positive vibes, loving me, self-love, hashtags and all of that.
Okay.
But you're sharing your business with people who really do not care.
Okay. I think that's what people need to know.
Yes.
Of course. And Wycliffe, now let's talk about the camp itself.
Yes.
It's only 2 days to go.
Yeah.
That's on Sunday.
That's on Sunday.
Okay. What do you have? What do you have in store for the youth?
Oh, there are a lot of things. We are just talking about one part of it, the mind change. Yes, that is key. And you look at the theme of this camp, it all entails about changing the way you think, the way you see it. And we have a lot of interactions. Among the programs of this camp is that in IYF we promote talent. More so we promote music as part of it. That's why you see the IYF Tumaini band. But more than that, going international, we are inviting the Cautious Choir. This is the world best choir, the choir that sings in all languages. They go to French-speaking nations. They sing in French. They come to Kenya, and then believe me, I'm not degrading them, but believe me, they sing Malaika much better than the producer of that song.
And the original singers.
Yes. And
you realize you had so many songs to work with. You just had to pick Malaika. You had so many songs to work with.
Okay, let's give it up. It's a debut to answer that, but I don't know why I chose that song.
because when I talk about Malaika, there are a lot of things that people think about. It literally talks
we
about.
Can move on swiftly now.
So we have a lot of programs. One of them is games. We also have games activities, not just any games. When we talk about games in Kenya now, basketball team, they're doing well. And we talk about volleyball, we talk about all these kind of things. But then we talk about the mind recreation. It's the game that entails your mind, that engages your mind to think, do it, and have fun with it.
Okay.
And most important is that we have also many pastors who are gathering, because in Kenya we need to train. First of all, before we train the youth, we need to train the church leaders, because there's a very big difference between religion and spiritual life. Religion is just a trend. I was born in Anglican church, which I don't go to Anglican church today, but I was born in Anglican church. My father donated land to Anglican church. But we need to think about what makes me to come out of that and go to another place. So we need to first raise the spiritual leaders. And we are doing the pastors training with the Christian Leaders Fellowship. And through this, we find many youths in the church. Because of, it's not really that because they like to be in the church, but then nowadays the church is upgrading and making programs to accommodate the youth. Yeah. But then now we need to put the insight of mind change, how they need to change their mind to live also the true Christian life. Okay. So we invite many pastors, many Christian leaders, and we are going to have close to 3,000 youths. And these youths, they are drawn from different places, university and colleges, correctional services, and also we go to the society. We bring the youth from the society, youth organizations, and youth development agencies. One thing that we create is the empowerment program. We first empower their mind and give them the ideas to go and live and impact and change their life. Okay. So when they come, probably if I talk about the registration, we are doing this purely on sponsorship, but then registration is 1,000 Kenya shillings. We give them a certificate of participation. This 1,000 Kenya shillings, to say the truth, is not even food and accommodation. Probably when they spend 1,000 shillings in 4 days, they'll be thankful, because in a day they need to spend more than 1,000 Kenya shillings in terms of transport and those kind of things. So we are gearing up for this event. This is one of the best youth event in Kenya. Right after that, we're going to have the International Youth Day and Youth Week. But then I think this is one of the best events, and we are expecting many other guests to come and speak to the youth. Okay. So we are very hopeful with this event. I want to tell the youth outside there, take your time, come. You don't know, you'll change.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a nice point. And I believe Tumaini Band will perform.
Yes, of course, we got you.
You can talk to them. To me, that camera, you can talk to them.
Oh.
Wakaribishe, waambie what to expect from the band.
Okay, sawa. Yes. I will, yes, so to all the youth that can see me, or parents, because parents ndio wanakuanga wameamka sahi. Yes, so let's encourage your children, the youth, and even you to come to this camp and learn mindset education, and to hear and learn and have fun. It will be a lot of fun. There's a lot of performances lined up for you, a lot of dance, culture dance.
You're forgetting the music academy.
I have not forgotten. I'm talking about performances.
Oh, that's part of performance.
Yes, so there will be a lot of performances from us, you know, Tumaini Band, from Tumaini Dance, IYF Tumaini Dance, from international students. We'll have people from outside coming to dance together, and the Gracious Choir will be with us. There will also be Music Academy, Dance Academy. You will learn different languages, whichever you want.
Make new friends.
And definitely make new friends. Najua when you're high school.
Definitely connect.
Connect.
If you say new friends, but then it sounds boring.
Connect, yes.
Let's say
That
connect.
is the word.
Yes.
Yes.
And
to get
networks.
to
Networking.
Yeah.
Yeah, people like
connect
that. More
and
so the youth.
network. Yes, that is why it is the International
Youth Fellowship
Camp. Yes.
It's more of a culture
come through,
camp.
you will have fun. That one is promised 100%. You will have a lot of fun, and yes, you will come and leave a different person.
Okay. That should be a nice point to kumaliza hii discussion.
Yes. You will come and leave a different person.
Of course, they should come.
Yes.
I think Wanjiru, you should also ask Tom if he's coming.
Who, Tom?
Tom.
Tom is definitely coming.
Oh, wow. Welcome.
I must connect.
Yes.
Oh, Lord, no.
No, it depends on connect based on what? What is it talking about? We are talking about connect, become one, move forward together.
Maybe unless you're thinking of something
Tom, are you
else.
married?
Why do you want me to answer that? I've said I'm coming to network. Quickly, as you finish your parting shot. And
I believe when we talk about International Youth Fellowship, I'm talking about something that is part and parcel of my life for the last 10 years. Even today, I live a different person. We want to put impact in your life, and we want to put change in your heart. That's why this IYF Youth Culture Camp is not just about me and individuals. It's about us as Kenyans. This is the biggest youth event in Kenya that's being held every year. If we want to change Kenya, then let's all change our youths, and then we're going to change this country. So be part of the change and be part of the wave. Come and let's all move together. It will be at Moi Sports Center, Kasarani. Registration ongoing. You can register with us on our through our social media accounts like Facebook, Twitter. We are posting this all over, and I'm looking forward to meeting many people whom we are going to carry the message of change together for Kenya and for all Kenyans.
Okay, thank you so much. And of course, it's starting on 28th, that's on Sunday, to 1st August. And it's only 1,000 bob, so everything will be catered for, from transport, accommodation, and of course, my favorite meals will be there. Meals will be there. Is it all the meals, the daily meals,
Yes.
from breakfast to...
Breakfast, lunch, dinner, tea break.
That's a very good deal.
Yes.
Of course, only 1,000 bob, a t-shirt and a certificate will be provided for you. And now Tasema asante sana.
Asante.
Asante for coming.
Thank you.
It has been nice having you. I hope we also connect in the future.
Yes. Connect with you.
Yeah, of course.
With all of them.
Yeah.
And now to Tumaini Band, tunarudi kwenu. So, naweza tupatia atuimbe malaika tena.
No, it's okay. Malaika is a really good song. They can sing. They sing it well, by the way.
Umechoma.
Tom, don't do this.
No, it's just on a lighter note.
I'm solving this with the Flint there. I'll be in problems after this.
Okay, maybe let's talk about what they have for us this morning. And of course, as we wind up this session, so I hope IOF Tumaini Band, you're ready.
Because he lives, I can face tomorrow. Because he lives, all fear is gone. Because I know my Redeemer lives. I know my Redeemer lives. All of creation testifies. This life within me cries. I know.
He holds the future.
And life is worth living just because he lives. Very same God that spins things in orbit runs to the weary, the worn and the weak, and the same gentle hands that hold me when I'm broken. He conquered death to bring me victory. Arise, my love. Arise, my love. The grave no longer has a hold on you. No more death stings, no more suffering. Arise, arise. I know my Redeemer lives. I know my Redeemer lives. All of creation testifies. This life within me cries. I know my Redeemer lives.
And life is
Worth living just because he lives.
IYF is change. IYF is hope.
Goes to your favorite gospel ministers every Sunday live on your favorite station, GBS TV. Boom, 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 boom. Carry on! Hey!
그날 이후 나의 세상에는 두 가지 소리가 존재한다. 하나는 남들에게도 들리는 소리, 그리고 또 하나는 나에게만 들리는 소리. 나의 세상은 다른 사람들의 세상보다 좀 더 시끄럽다.